Live from the Spill Studios located behind a liquor store off the I-35 interchange, it's time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey and Carla.
Yes, you had to turn your hat backwards for that one.
Oh, yeah, baby, you can take it.
Damn, I like the way you stressed a lot. Live. It's getting long every week. Live. Pretty much it's going to be just a whole show.
Yeah, it's half the show's going to be live.
Exactly. It's going to be like you in slow motion. It's going across the room, about to punch somebody in slow motion. Live. So, a lot of stuff going on this week. At least you just told me just now, because I was like, I don't know what's happening this week.
Yeah, you're like, what are we going to talk about? I gave you something. It's like, well, maybe we can. And then you were like, wait, I got something to say. All right, yeah, let's record. Yeah,
no, that'll be good. That'll be a good one right there.
We're going to have a very special show tonight. Tonight on a very special, a couple of cold ones.
Carlisle touches Corey again
in a very special place.
I'll be like that episode of Different Strokes. Like Leon and Cyrus come in and catch me with my shirt off, and you in the room with me, and I'm like, I feel dizzy, and they're like, Carlisle, what are you doing? Do you remember that episode?
I never saw that episode.
You never saw an episode of Spill? No, you never saw an episode of Different Strokes.
No, I saw Different Strokes. I just don't remember one where somebody was woozy.
You never the bicycle shop episode?
No.
Arnold and his friend Dudley. That's his name. They're hanging out with the Maytag guy, and you know that old dude that played the Maytag man.
Yeah,
I'm so lonely. He played like a rapist in Different Strokes.
Like a child rapist? Or?
Yeah, I got to tell you about this because you've never seen this. So
I wasn't kidding when I said a very special episode.
Yeah. So Dudley and Arnold, they go to hang out with the bicycle shop guy because he's so cool. And he's like, oh, he gets kids. And one day they go in there and he's like, hey boys, okay, I got a game right now. Let's play Cowboys and Indians. And they're like, okay, sure. And he's like, okay, wait, you know what? I'm the cowboy and you guys are Indians. Now, if you're Indians, Indians don't wear shirts. You always see them in those shows. So you boys take your shirts off. And Arnold is at this point, he's like, yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? And I guess Arnold's like, hey, man, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And Dudley with his dumb ass, he's like, hey, it's cool, man. We're just playing Cowboys and Indians. And then he leaves and he tells his dad, like, hey, this fucking bicycle guy, he ain't right. And they get there and Dudley's been drugged. And he's like, I feel dizzy. And the guy's obviously ready to pull his pants down and rape him. And, police get there just in time before it happens. But they're like, okay, yeah, we caught a fucking child molester here. You never saw that episode.
Never saw that episode.
You're like,
maybe I saw it and I just blacked it out. Maybe it was such a traumatic experience for me. Someone almost, butt fucked Arnold.
Yeah. It's one. I mean,
talking about what you talking about, Willis?
I was about to say that. No, they didn't do that. You expected him to say not only what you talking about, Willis, or what you talking about.
What you talking about, rapist?
Yeah, he's like what the fuck you talking about, rapist? And they played that shit straight. They're like Arnold's just like I ain't even got time to say that. Fuck out of here.
That was that era where every television show, no matter how goofy and comedy, had to have that serious episode where we tackled something important of the day.
Yeah, no, it was like the Fresh Prince. He got drunk one night, and normally when
that episode's funny though.
Oh no,
that fucking episode's hilarious.
Now, I never saw it. Did they actually play that up for laughs, or was it really serious?
It's serious, but it's serious and so bad it's funny. They play it at the Draft House every once in a while. Like they play it during before Will Smith movies. They have a Will Smith tape where they play a bunch of his videos and then scenes from various movies and shows like Fresh Prince. And it's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, like he got drunk. Like every kid gets drunk and the parents are like, okay, you know what? You fucked up. You're going to stay up all night. You're going to clean the yard the next day. We're going to work the alcohol out of you. And it's going to suck. And with this, it was just kind of like, I'm fucking sorry. It's like he did heroin or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I tell you, even though in these shows, they're sitcoms. So you're going to laugh no matter what, no matter how serious they are. Because I feel really bad. Like all of us growing up, we never said, oh, poor Dudley, man. We're like, dumbass. You probably had it coming because you were too stupid to get the fuck out of there.
And Dudley turned out gay anyway.
Yeah, and there you go. So yeah,
he was Dudley for fuck's sake.
Years later, he was like, the bicycle guy was kind of cute. So
yeah, he's like, man, I could have had my first sexual experience. You guys fucking cock-blocked my ass.
Yeah, you missed out, man. We played Cowboy and Indians. So anyway, you know what? Enough about sitcom rape. Let's go ahead and get into
the top 5 brought to you by Spill.
Yes. Oh, man. So, again, another kind of predictable top 5 this week. And everything kind of fell into where I thought it would. I'm sure you saw the same thing, at least with the new movies coming out. But I'll tell you what. Let's start with number 5.
What? No. Let's start with number 9.
Oh, you want to go into number 9?
What's number 9?
Number 9 is Adventureland.
Oh, shit. All right. Adventureland is really good and just kind of getting hosed. Number 9 was not the one I wanted for. Let's go to number 8.
Okay, number 8, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Dragon Ball.
Yes, that is a new movie premiering this weekend, and that opened up with $4.7 million.
$4.7 million.
And we saw it on Thursday night, and I was telling people.
Oh, shitty.
Now, let me ask you something.
Shitty.
Did you ever watch the show? No, you didn't, because you talked trash about it. Everybody got mad at you.
I've seen it,
But,
I am familiar with the Dragon Ball.
Yeah, we've all seen it. And
I've checked out its suck level, and it's over 9,000. What? Over 9,000?
What is this 9,000? I don't know what that
It was
is.
just an episode in which the guy's looking at the guy's power level through the scanner thing he's got, and his power level is over 9,000, and it became a meme.
Okay, because I keep seeing that. Like during the review, I kept seeing comments, 9,000.
It's over 9,000.
Obviously, I don't get this shit. So, but I was saying, now I don't watch the show. Never really watched it, but I did feel sorry for the fans because they did what they did with Street Fighter. Just took a property, didn't give a shit about it, and just made something totally different from what they have. They just tried to get down the name to make some money.
It had stuff from the show in it. It was all just kind of slapped together and thrown in there. It didn't feel like the Dragon Ball world at all. It was just fucking silly.
Oh, it was
And there are characters. What was up with the fucking douchebag, dude? The guy who did the worst Paul Walker impression I've ever seen in my life.
The Asian dude?
Yeah. What's up, bro? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
What a horrible thing to happen, bro.
Oh, yeah. No, the guy that dug the hole?
Yeah.
the Asian guy with the dyed blonde hair?
Yeah, the hole, bro.
I like the way they say he dug a hole. It's a fucking cave. Like, how long did it take him to dig that fucking hole, man? But yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I'm asking that like there's not a million other things wrong with that movie.
That movie sucked dick through a straw is what that did.
Oh, man.
That movie was shitty. But the thing is now because it's been online for a month and because everybody's been watching it and writing about it, Fox is going to blame piracy.
And this is not one of those cases, man. I'm telling you, it's a movie that sucks. That's pure and simple. Because if they had made a really great Dragon Ball movie, those fans are so
still watch it online.
they're rabid about this shit. I mean, stop taking fucking properties and just doing anything with them. I mean, it's obvious now. You're just trying to scam on the name. You're making this shit cheap and throwing it out there. Yeah. Fuck y'all for doing that. Anyway, I'm getting murked up about a cartoon I don't even like, man. Yeah. So,
let's go. Skipping down a few to number 5.
Years ahead, there was number 5. Number 5 is, that shit is still up there, but it ain't making that much money. It's Knowing. Knowing brought in $6.7 million this weekend. It is actually up to $68 million. So,
ooh, $68 million.
Yeah. Not crazy. Not a crazy amount of money there, but more money than I thought it would actually make.
More money than it should be making.
I agree totally, but that's just me. Anyway, that's a Nicolas Cage movie.
Number 4.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Somebody forgot to turn off their air conditioning unit.
It's about to get hot in here, boy.
It's about to get hot in here, baby.
Shit.
It's getting hot in here. I'm going to take off all my clothes.
I'm going to rape Dudley now. No, so let's...
I am getting so hot.
I'm going to rape little Dudley. So,
oh, you're all up in the Dudley
I know,
shit.
man. It brought back some memories. I have a guilt trip about that kid now for laughing at him when they're just trying to teach kids not to talk to strangers, and here I'm laughing at Dudley about to get ass raped. So, let's see. Number 4. Observe and Report, the new Seth Rogen movie, which premiered last weekend. This weekend still is Sunday. 11 point. Damn, that's not very much. $11.1 million.
Yeah, no, 11. Yeah, it did not do well this weekend. It's called Observe and Report, but very few people actually observed.
See, and we reported very badly on it. And I didn't look at that number. All I did was look at the top 3 on Box Office Mojo, and they were like high up there. So I'm looking at Observe and Report, and I'm like, God damn, that's low.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a good discussion about that coming up.
Maybe.
I think so.
Perhaps it'll be good. Perhaps it'll be very special.
Just keep your shirt on. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and move up to...
Well, let's talk about... First of all, this is bad mojo. A lot of critics have been just screaming about this and just they love this film. And then it's really weird because the people who love it really love the shit out of it and have been writing all these really derogatory reviews to a certain degree about how, but everyone else isn't going to get it. They're not going to understand this film. Film goers aren't going to possibly get what they're trying to do here. They don't understand the genius.
Oh, you know what? I thought we were going to talk about this because I wanted to dissect this film.
If we want to dissect more, we can move on and then just knock the rest of the shit out of the way because this is a quick top three. Let's be honest.
No, nothing.
Let's just rub a quick top three out. And, rub it out and we're good. So let's go to number three.
Number three. Monsters vs. Aliens, $22.6 million, up to $141 million so far. Damn, that's all I can say.
It's this year's Ice Age.
Yeah, that movie's gonna make $200 million before it's over with. I actually didn't know it was playing at IMAX. I thought that they were playing it in 3D at certain theaters, but not IMAX. Yep. I might go check it out over there.
But we can't really go into this much more. You love the shit out of it. I was really disappointed.
Yeah, no. You know what? And a lot of times when I say I love the shit out of it, I like this movie. I like this movie a lot. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like just coming at a different opinion. But it's not like I really love this movie. It's not like I'm saying like, wow, this is the best thing I've seen this year. I just had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I guess I'm saying it was full price, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, I know a lot of people saying they like it, a lot of people saying they don't. I found that camp of people that do like it. So, I mean, what can you say about it? Whatever. So it's gonna make money no matter who likes it or not.
To number two.
Another movie that people are kind of split on. People say it's silly. Some people say it's a lot of fun. Is Fast and Furious.
And it's awesome.
118 million is made so far. Damn, Brent almost brought in 29 million this weekend,
dude.
Man.
It's a fun movie. It was the only thing out there for the older teen set and
another movie,
guys.
Yeah, another movie. People will say, "Hey, this is silly. This is stupid." I'm like, "Look, what do you want me to do? I have fun watching it. All right."
I enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean, but you and I both gave it matinees because we felt it was a solid matinee film. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it in a theater where it's loud and fun. It's the only thing it's there for. But don't pay full price for it because it's not the first film.
Well, I'd have to say too. I mean, even though I'm talking about people are saying it's silly, it gets to a point where it's goddamn ridiculous in some parts. So
but that's what Fast and the Furious is.
Oh yeah.
And all these films have always been silly, even from the beginning. The first film is fucking retarded.
I'm telling you,
but we love how retarded it is.
I'm really saying for the next one, they should really make it like those Hot Wheels tracks where they go on a loop and they're fighting, going past a dinosaur and the alligators biting the cars and all kind of shit.
I want to see a Cannonball Run version of Fast and Furious.
Why are you so stuck on this Cannonball Run version of the Fast and the Furious?
Because what else is there to do but drive cross country and like have long distance road chases through every sort of terrain known to man?
Told you what they should do. Go to the land of T-Rexes and
they go to the land of T-Rexes, and then and Dudley takes his shirt off. I know. I don't get your version of the film, dude. I just don't get it.
Like this version of the movie, my point is, it won't make any sense at all. The next one,
because the whole Dudley angle just brings us back to Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh wait a minute, Dudley. I'm thinking Dudley's a character in the Fast and Furious. I'm like Dudley. We come back to this fucking kid that was almost raped.
You keep talking about.
We're not going to leave this kid alone.
I don't even remember the name of that character. You're like, it's Dudley.
Dudley,
poor
man.
Dudley.
It's a black little kid named Dudley about to get raped. I mean, come on.
Isn't that Alfonso Ribeiro?
No, it's not. It's some other kid. I forgot.
Alfonso Ribeiro is the best friend on Silver Spoons.
Silver Spoons, yes. There you go.
Here we are.
I don't do that.
Couple of silver spoons.
I hate it when people can't mention Silver Spoons when I sing that goddamn theme song.
You gotta sing that song. Everybody remembers that song.
And because I keep thinking of like the opening credits where they're like, "Here we are," and they like have what's his name looking at the camera, looking at his dad real like softly, like, "Dad, I'm here," and his dad's looking back at him, a couple of silver spoons, like, "I know you're back in my life." I'm like, "Ah, oh, Jesus, I used to watch that."
And
shit.
You know what? You know why? Because they were super rich, and the only really cool thing about being super rich was apparently you had 5 stand-up arcade games in your house.
Is that what they did? Like, he had
had 5 stand-up arcade games across the wall, and like that was the big set. And all the kids were like, "Oh my god, he's got his own arcade games! It's so awesome! Oh my god, that's cool!" And now we're sitting there with an Xbox, going, "Yeah."
Oh man, do you remember a show called Starcade?
Yeah.
Do you remember like the ultimate prize on that was to win a stand-up arcade machine?
Yeah.
And you thought that was like, fuck man, if I get this, all the kids are gonna think I'm the coolest one. It's like. today you can get all those arcade games on like one CD, and they're like direct translations. But back then you're like, fuck, man, they're gonna think I'm like a millionaire if I got Donkey Kong in my house.
That's right.
Oh fuck! I know, man.
Which brings us
number one
to the number one film, a touching and heartwarming epic about the Holocaust, titled Hannah Montana.
Whose Holocaust? The cinema Holocaust. Yeah, Hannah Montana, the movie. Which you and I agreed. Look, you can even rate it. You and I agreed that, hey, this is just it's for
just
kids.
For little girls.
Yeah,
it's just for little girls and boys too little to know the difference between boy entertainment and girl entertainment.
Yeah.
Once they cross that threshold where they're like, oh, I have a pee-pee, and that means I like cars. Once they get to that point, it's like, so what? Hannah Montana, big fucking
yeah,
one.
exactly. Shit,
it's not so much a film as it is a series of wig jokes, but it's not offensive. It really, I saw people who were writing diatribes against it about how this is terrible entertainment that we're feeding our kids. And it's like, do you remember the shit we grew up on? We grew up on we grew up on fucking Silver Spoons.
Yeah, there you go, man.
And Different Strokes.
I mean, I remember one of the terrible lines from Silver Spoons even. I'm sitting here making fun of you, but it was so bad sitcom humor. Like Ricky Schroeder's like, well, I was thinking about it and I decided to take a walk, Dad. And because his dad was like, where you been, Rick? And he's like, oh, Dad, I was just had some of mine and took a walk. Rick, our backyard's 100 acres. And then they come in with the loud track and like, and I'm like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Now that's what we grew up. Now this, Hannah Montana, it's the same thing, just a different age.
Yeah. No, it's nothing offensive, and there's nothing I've seen truly offensive. You want to talk about offensive? I mean, I've brought up Bratz a number of times, but even more offensive than that was that film Just My Luck. You remember that one with fucking with Lindsay Lohan? And and Chris Pine, the new head of Starfleet.
Oh, was that him in that movie? Oh,
yeah.
that was because he was a nerdy guy.
Yeah, and he was great. I mean, he's the one part of that film that you watch and you're like, wow, this kid's talented. He's going somewhere. But Lindsay Lohan is over.
No, yeah, you have good family entertainment, then you have middle of the road family entertainment, which is Hannah Montana, and then you have shitty family entertainment, which is like
really
Daddy
offensive,
Day Camp.
Yeah, and that film was all about trying to sell young girls on this band that they're trying to get to hop the pond from England over here. They were just pushing the hell out of this band, and they had really, really terrible. It had terrible images,
and that was a Lindsay Lohan
girls.
Movie. Yeah, and I thought that band was fake because they were that bland.
No, they were real. They were legit. Like the Brits fucking hated. The Brits were sick of
they
them
were
already.
Like, take this shit, please.
Yeah, no, they were trying to. And I don't even remember the name of the band.
Who does?
Brits, because it was like that was that band that you couldn't escape from that year, and they were just anyone with a penis was like sick to death of them, wanted to beat them all to death with bricks, and the girls were all like, yeah, we used to really be into them, but now we're kind of over them. And that's when they're like, well, it's time to go to the U.S.
They pretty much put those sons of bitches in a crate and sent them over here. Like they landed on a movie
but it
set.
didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Thank God. But if you want to talk about really offensive entertainment, you sit down and watch Just My Luck and dare to compare it to Hannah Montana. Dare to tell me that there's a single negative thing in Hannah Montana versus that other kind of entertainment. It's just milquetoast, though. There's if you are an adult, even a semi-retarded adult is going to be bored with Hannah Montana.
It's not meant for that crowd.
No,
you know what I mean?
not.
Like I say, like you put it kind of well. You said this is one of those movies where you take your parents and they're not. I mean, hey, look, and you always. I mean, the parents are going to take their kids. Yeah. Well, no, kids are going to take their parents because they got to drag them there.
Yeah.
And you're always going to have that parent that doesn't discriminate too much in their entertainment. They're going to be like, hey, Hannah Montana's funny.
You know what really blew me away, though?
What's that?
When we went to see Dragon Ball, you and I and the co-host did a midnighter of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I was standing in line behind all these college and high school girls who were giggling and excited about Hannah Montana. And they all went in and saw fucking Hannah Montana. And I got that it was a girls' night out. And I was really disappointed because had I brought my class ring with me, I could have fingered somebody, I'm sure.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I don't feel so bad about talking about Dudley now. At least I never want to touch him myself.
It was really one of those things where it's like, you girls are really, and there was a whole pack of them that I was about to smack because one of them, like, I'm walking up to I finally get up to the ticket counter, and so this girl kind of slips in front of me. Right as I'm getting up there, she slips in front of me, and she's like, "Oh, I hear you have Hannah Montana cards." And he's like, yeah, we do. And he like looks at her going, you're not 5 years old. I'm not, but fine, I'm going to give it to you. Goes to give her the cards. And just as I'm about to go and, buy my ticket, then this all of her friends, like 6 other friends jump in front of me. They're like, we want Hannah Montana cards too. Give us Hannah Montana
just tell them bitches get back.
Yeah. And the guy's rolling his eyes because he's like, dude, these are for little kids. And they're all giggling. And I'm like, bitch, fucking stand in line.
Yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Christ, there's somebody standing here. I want to buy a ticket to my fucking movie and get in there.
Yeah, you should have just stumped at it. Back, get back. But yeah, exactly. Well, I think some of the success of this movie probably even went to people who just saw it as a joke, because as co-hosts, when we were there were a couple of college boys or maybe high school seniors, and one of the guys bought his ticket and he's like, Hannah Montana, yeah! And then he walked in and it was like,
you know why?
Holy shit.
Motherfucker brought his class ring.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and score. Shit, this is a place to pick him up.
Give me some bouquet.
Yeah, you filthy, man. I don't see. Hey, people out there on Spill or wherever, don't put the heat on me anymore. You got this nasty son of a bitch over here. Man, so I don't know what you want to get into. There was a couple of things you want to talk about. Now, do you want to get into the?
Let's do the heavy one later, because I'm in kind of a jokey mood right now.
Okay.
Let's go to the not so heavy thing. What's the not so heavy thing you got for us?
Did I have something?
I don't know. You're like, well, what did you want to do? We've got I thought you were saying that you had something.
I guess
because otherwise we're going to get into the we're going to drop
get into the heavy shit.
Yeah.
It's not going to be so heavy because I see where you're coming from. I think I just have certain things to back this up from what I saw. I mean, it's just two different points of view.
We'll tell you. Well, we're just going from a level of joke into we're just grinding to a halt.
Somehow, I think Dudley and the class ring's gonna come in there still somewhere.
Still going to find its way in.
Dudley's gonna keep walking through this show with his shirt off. We're not gonna get rid of that. But no, listen. So let's go ahead and get an observing report, because maybe I will have something in mind. I just forgot. But so you said that.
I wanted to talk about. I almost did this as a calm the fuck down. I haven't done one of those in a while. But this was something that I was like, you know what? It's gonna require some talking. It's gonna require debate, and it would be better done here. I'm really kind of miffed at the feminist reaction to this film. Now, early this week in particular, there were a couple of blogs that came out saying, hey, I saw Observe and Report, and I was really, as a woman, I'm kind of bothered by this particular scene in which there's date rape involved, and that it's supposed to be funny. And I didn't find it particularly funny. I found it kind of offensive. And I just wanted to bring that up because I really don't think it was right. And I read, a few pieces like that, and I'm like, all right, I could see that. And and I even told some people, I'm like, oh, they're already catching heat for it. The blogs are starting to fire up, and people are talking about it. It wasn't a particularly good joke, but it was a joke. And then the real firestorm started, on Friday, when some serious fucking blogs just went after this film. And I saw one particular YouTube video that was called The Feminist Friday Fuck You, in which apparently these feminists find something to be offended about every week, so that to warrant a Friday fuck you as opposed to, the occasional fuck you. And they did this whole big rant about how terrible this is and how horrible this date rape sequence is in Observe and Report. And then go into what really starts to bother me is when you start to add your own issues to a discussion. Okay. And when it goes from there, that's where I kind of get off the bus.
Well, I guess, see, my problem with Observe and Report, a lot of people are saying, what were you expecting with this movie? It's like, you were looking at it too hard. You were too offended by it. And I did find some of it offensive, but I really didn't like the movie because I just didn't think it was that funny, at least not funny enough to back up the offensive parts. I mean, it would just seem random. I just wasn't laughing. But it was a little weird to me, that date rape scene. And I'm saying if feminists going to get upset about anything, they might as well get upset about that, because that was clearly a date rape. And I know that you say it's a joke and that we're not supposed to like Seth Rogen's character in the movie. But at the end of the movie, and I'm not trying to ruin anything, anybody. If you feel like this is going to be a spoiler, please turn away or whatever. I don't want to hear this shit about you spoiled it for me, asshat. But anyway, at the end of the movie, they're asking us to actually like this guy. And it's not only the date rape scene, he beats up kids. Now, this stuff I'm not like going out saying, like the skateboard scene and the scene he beats up cops. I'm not walking out saying like, oh, I was offended by that. It's just like he does all these ugly things and he's such an ugly character. And then at the end of the movie, they're asking us to actually forgive everything that he's done because all of a sudden he cries.
Well, now I disagree that they're asking us to forgive him. They're asking us to kind of like him. I mean, the real point of the movie and the point of this style of humor is you're not supposed to like these characters. And that's kind of the turn in Observe and Report is at the end, they don't give you a really terrible, depressing ending. They actually kind of try to bring it together and try to get his life back on track. This type of humor is, and it goes back a long way. The film that really bothered me 10 years ago was Happiness, which is essentially the same kind of comedy. It's where you just watch these people's lives kind of unravel, and you're supposed to, in the movie Happiness, there's an awkwardly funny, and I put quotation marks around funny, scene in which a son who's found out that his father has been molesting and raping his friends, this is a kid who's like 11 years old, confronts his dad about it and says, "What's wrong with me? Why do you have to go and rape my friends? Why can't you do that to me?" And that's supposed to be funny.
Actually, no, he didn't say that. I remember that scene.
What's the actual dialogue?
No, he said he was disturbed because he asked his dad. He said, "What about me? Do you think you'll do the same thing to me?" And his father was like, "Truthfully, yeah, I probably would rape you." And the kid was like, "Oh shit!" And he started crying. He was actually disturbed by that.
It's a really awkward sequence.
I get what you're saying. No, it's a movie, and I agree with you. It's a movie full of ugliness, and it doesn't let up at all.
But here in this film. And this film does let up. And that's, I think, one of the problems with this film. But what they do is there's so many terrible things that this character does because we're not supposed to like him. He beats the crap out of kids. He treats people horribly. There's nothing he does that's redeeming throughout the film at all. He disrespects everyone. He's horrible to everyone. And this is the one person he actually likes.
Well, that's what's even more disturbing about it. It's like that.
You say it's clearly a date rape.
Well, it is. It's like he drugs her, and
he doesn't drug her.
No.
She says you have drugs. Let me take that.
No, he takes her in an inebriated state, and she doesn't even know what she's doing, and it's kind of like
except at the end of that scene, she does. She says, "Why are you stopping, motherfucker?"
Oh, yeah. No, they try to cover it up by putting that line in there, but it is clearly a date rape, and I guess what I'm saying here is that. And when I say forgive this character, they're not coming out and saying, actually, we're sorry for what he's done. Let's not like him. No, they ask you to have sort of a forgiving nature. It's kind of like all of a sudden on the turn of a dime, I mean, there's no progression from being like this asshole, disturbed character to being a nice guy. Just all of a sudden, he's there getting coffee, and he's like, I just want to be an average person. It's like, we don't buy that because they like something like Bad Santa. Well, Billy Bob Thornton was just an insidious character. We had a gradual turn of him trying to be a better person. And even at the end, he's not that great of a person. No. But I guess in this particular case, it's like beating up kids. We don't have this whole thing of security guards going out and beating up kids. That's not epidemic. We don't have this whole thing of guys going out and beating up cops. I mean, that's not like something that's epidemic. I mean, you get shot trying to beat up cops. But I do get a little nervous about the date rape because that is still something serious. I mean...
But the point of that scene and the point of everything he does in this movie, there's not a single celebration of any of that. It's... You are watching that scene and you are supposed to be repulsed by what he's doing. You're not supposed to be, oh, dude, he's finally scoring with the love of his life. No, you're supposed to be going, holy fuck, I can't believe he's doing that.
I disagree because
you're supposed to find that funny. I don't like that style of humor because I don't find stuff like that funny. But I didn't find that scene funny the same way I didn't find the scene funny where he's beating up kids or beating up crackheads or any of the things he does that's wrong.
Oh, yeah. No, I just think that they skipped over it. I mean, there's some subjects where I just think, hey, man, come on, have a little taste. And that was one of them where they did want you to laugh. I mean, they threw little lines in there like, I accept you. And he kisses her with vomit on her mouth. And the next thing you know, they're in bed and they crack a joke there. And it's like, hey, look, the rest of this stuff, just not funny because it's just dumb. This is not funny. It's offensive. And it touches on a subject, which is something that's still kind of serious. I mean, when we got back, all of us were like, wow, man, what about that scene?
Well, that scene was, but that was literally the most fucked up thing he does in the movie. And he's a fucked up guy. What's also, it's really not the most fucked up thing he does in the movie. Really, when you look at it, but we, as a society, that's what we look at. The fact that he shoots and almost kills a guy for flashing people at a mall. You're kind of like, fuck. The fact that he envisions himself as some kind of hero and has these horrible dreams about the end of the world, and melting kids and shit like that. Oh, that's okay. I see where they're going with that. But when he has sex with a drunk and clearly willing girl, oh wow, that's going too far.
I didn't. I mean, maybe it's interpretive.
I think it's all meant to be.
He shoots the guy, and that's such an over-the-top scene. The guy's a streak, too, so he's actually a person who's doing an offense. The scene where where the kids he's talking about killing kids, well, that's him talking about it. And that's still not funny, but we don't see any clear victims there. He's just talking about what's in his head. This scene, even though we're not supposed to like this girl, I mean, it's still, and maybe they didn't mean for it to come across as a date rape. It still has those elements there of that enough to make it ugly and uncomfortable and very offensive. That's just me.
Now, but the thing is what needs to be clear here is that it's not that I don't find it offensive. It's not that I'm not turned off by it. And it's not that I don't think it probably shouldn't have been done, but it's not enough to be cherry picked out and to make a huge deal about, because there's literally so much stuff here he does bad. It's one thing to say, you know what, I just didn't find the film funny and I thought that scene went too far. Mm-hmm. That's where it's okay. Like, you guys were like, look, that went too far. I think that touches on some nerves that it probably shouldn't touch. I can't disagree with you at all, because it does. I was creeped out by that scene. I was like, oh, fuck. But I can't get worked up about it. And I'm really bothered by the people who get really worked up and turn this into an issue thing when it was just one bad joke in a series of really tasteless jokes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, here, I'm not trying to be one of these bleeding heart liberals or anything. I'm not trying to sit up here and appeal to a certain group because it makes me look good. Contrary to whatever impression I give out about women, whether I seem like a sexist or not, I really do get kind of I get creeped out by certain things with women.
I will defend you and say that as many women as you bang, I haven't known you to drug any of them.
No, none of them.
Your drugging is not part of your modus operandi.
And you know what?
You may lie your fucking pants off or lie their pants off, but you will not drug them.
I will not give them anything, and they will be conscious the whole time. I will do my best to at least wake them up.
You don't say Rohypnol, you say Rohypnol.
That's pretty good. Hey, look, and we make jokes here too. We talk about, hey, look, we just talked about you being at a theater fingering high school girls and whatnot.
I never said I was actually. I said I could.
Well, look,
I brought my class.
We never filmed it. It's kind of understood because we go by so quick, and then we come back with a statement that says, "Oh man," So at least you have some repercussions there of like, "Oh, we know that's wrong," and but none of it really has a clear victim there. You never see us like animate something like that, anything like that. Now, I think that.
Now I beg to differ. You've animated a few of those before.
I don't think so. I think you know what I did one where Leon actually took what's her name what was that chick's
You've
name?
done
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah,
and like
prison rape.
But and
you've dived into the 50-foot woman.
Oh yeah, no, but she was willing. She wasn't drugged.
I don't know about that.
But you know what? I mean,
she was lying on the ground.
But we did.
How do I know?
We did do an animation where Leon ran off with Rosario Dawson, and but like I said, it was nothing where, and like I know the one you're talking about, Morgan Freeman, but there was never any contact, anything like that. You never see anything. So it's just kind of like, again, what we're joking around here with Dudley. Here's my problem though. It's like with date rape and also here's an example of what I'm talking about. Now, everybody thought that I was really going overboard with something like Hustle and Flow, and everybody thought it was something that had to do with a race thing. And while it was a little bit of that in there, I also did not like the scene at all, because I heard a woman complain about this at the screening, and everybody's like, "Oh, what are you complaining about?" And it's like, no, she has a point. In the movie, the girl who sings, I forgot her name, some Tamari Henson or something like that. The one who sings the song is "Hard Out There for a Pimp." To get her to sing, what's his name? Terrence Howard looks at her and slaps her to get her to sing. And now, not only is he a pimp beating his whore on the screen to get her to do something, but
I believe we call it a hoe.
Oh, a hoe, yes.
A hoe.
I'm sorry.
I think
was being
whore
proper.
is an offensive term. Hoe is the politically
there
correct
you go.
term.
Thank you. But now a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of deaths of young girls, the majority of deaths of young girls, especially with Hispanics and blacks, occur in relationships with guys that they know. I mean, so to see something like that, I was like, and to make it seem like that's what you have to do to get a correct performance out of somebody, I was like, yeah, I don't think that that's really something that we want.
Not what that scene was about.
But it could be taken as, hey, to be a man and get your woman to do what you need to do, you need to give a good backhand. I don't,
We weren't supposed to like him in that way. That was kind of what was weird about Hustle and Flow, was that he was not a likable character. We start feeling for him and we start seeing from his point of view, but he still does things that we don't find.
See, I disagree. First of all, you have the thing when you put somebody in a protagonist position and he is a protagonist, you already are prone to like that guy because that is the guy you focus on the most. And then we're supposed to root on him because he's trying to make his record and he's the guy you want to see succeed. So I don't really think that was something that I would have put in a movie, or I think anybody should have done. I think it just perpetuates the wrong idea.
I think you would have also, had they stripped that stuff out, people would have complained that it was a Disneyfied version of pimps, and that pimps are far more dangerous and darker individuals than they portrayed in the film.
No, you're right.
They did a great job of portraying this guy who really did live a terrible fucking life, and he was not a nice guy. And so when he actually started singing about that and started setting that down, that it was the real deal. And that wasn't necessarily good. I mean, he succeeds, but at the end, doesn't he? If I remember correctly, he ends up in fucking prison, right?
Well, he ends up in prison, but it's clearly like it's sort of implied that he's about to be a big rap star because his record sold, and when he's only going to serve a little time. He's not going to serve a lot. When he gets out, he's going to have a career. But I see what you're saying. I mean, I don't know. I just think when you get right down to it, pimps shouldn't be glorified. Now, I can't tell anybody not to make that story. I mean, they do exist, and that's close to life. I'm just saying, for me, I just felt like that was something that shouldn't be put out there. But I'm not saying censor the film, ban it. I'm telling you what made me feel uncomfortable about it.
With that scene and with what we're talking about here, I don't think anybody walks out of either of those films saying, you know what? In order to get a girl to sing, you got to slap her real good. Or walks out going, you know what? Maybe I should get that girl I'm really interested in drunk as shit and then fuck the shit
I would like to say no one thinks that, but statistically speaking, obviously some people do.
No, it happens, but nobody looks at that film. The guys that do it just fucking do it. And the guys that do it already feel guilty about it. It's not like it's like, woohoo, we're going to do this. It's like, well, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. And it's a horrible, reprehensible
if you
thing.
feel guilty about it, that's no excuse. I mean, just because you feel guilty is like, hey.
No. I'm not defending these guys in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying it fucking happened. Now, yeah, there are guys who just are oblivious and think that that's cool.
Yeah, and look, I'm not trying to make a judgment here because some people can look at the stuff that we do and say, hey, those guys are offensive. So it all depends on who you're talking to. I mean, but I strongly feel like that's a movie that was already ugly enough, and to have that scene in there, something that's close enough to a date rape, I'm like, Jesus, man, that's a movie that could have even done without that. Is what I'm saying.
I agree, but it's not fire and brimstone bad. It's not give flying fuck yous to the filmmakers bad. I think it was a bad call, and I think it requires reasoned discussion about it like this rather than getting all worked up and making it a huge issue thing, because really it's just the movie is about an unlikable asshole who does whatever he can to make himself happy, and we're not supposed to like him.
Well, listen, I will say that feminists have every right to complain about that movie, just like people who come out and will complain about Dragon Ball. They give a big flying fuck you to Dragon Ball because it wasn't their movie. Fans give fuck yous to everything.
Did you see Dragon Ball?
Are you talking to me?
That movie fucking.
Oh yeah, no. I guess, and what I'm saying is, feminists have the right to do this too because fans do it all the time for movies. There's no just because they're feminists, and this is to me that's sort of a legitimate thing, and they complain about something.
Except
that's it.
that there's a line. Comparing the two doesn't quite work, because when a bunch of Dragon Ball fans start screaming about how terrible the new Dragon Ball movie is, it says fuck you and fuck Fox and fuck this and fuck that. Nobody takes that seriously. But the minute feminists start screaming about a scene in a movie, then it's legitimate news. Then it's issue-based discussions. And it's not something that you just simply write off, because if you write them off, then you're being a sexist for not paying attention to feminist views. And I think that there comes a time that I'm fine with bringing up issues that deal with films. My biggest problem is that this film isn't about that. This is a 10 to 15 second scene in a film that is not about date rape. The film, the soul of the film, anything about the film isn't about it. That one 15-second scene is.
It doesn't have to be about the date rape. I mean, but it's a scene that's in there. I guess what I'm saying is, look, I haven't read the story that you read, so I don't know really.
I've read a couple, and there's some very even-handed ones that are very good. I do not disagree with the people that come out and say, look, it's inappropriate. I felt it was wrong, and it probably shouldn't have been in the movie because there are a lot of people that are hurt, and we don't find that funny. I agree with that point of view. I understand that point of view. Personally, I think nothing is sacred, and I think the minute you draw a line somewhere, then all of a sudden nothing, then everything becomes sacred. And if you can't joke about one thing, how dare you joke about another? Why is it okay to beat up kids and not okay to talk about date rape? Why do you draw the line there? That's not cool.
Like I said, there's not an
I understand that people were bothered.
Well, it's not an epidemic, like I said, of cops going out. I mean, security guards going out and beating up kids.
But there's not an epidemic of security guards date raping women.
No, it's an epidemic of men date raping their dates, and that's where that is wrong. That's what I'm saying. That's
saying child abuse is an epidemic now.
If he had a kid in the movie, Arnold. If it was a situation like Arnold, it'd be like if they played that up for laughs, like if Dudley was sitting there and he's like, "Keep going, motherfucker," then I would complain. But but no,
why'd you stop?
I told you Arnold was gonna come back in this shit.
And that's why I brought it back.
Yeah, Arnold's a drinking game in this. No, I mean, if Seth Rogen had a kid in the movie that he was kind of beating up and they were making a joke out of it, I'd be like, yeah, that's a statistic that is falling into.
Alcoholism is an epidemic, and yet we're supposed to laugh at the mom who falls over and shits herself when she's drunk as shit. I personally didn't find almost any of it funny. There's a few good jokes in there, and I like what they do with the ending. I think the ending is a nice surprise, and it's well-deserved. But most of the film I didn't find funny. And most of this, I don't like laughing at human misery. I'm just one of those guys. I don't find human misery funny.
I do. That's the thing. Leon and I, we love that kind of thing.
You guys love to laugh at that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and that's why I think I'm like not being too harshly judgmental on this. I mean, because I'm thinking I'm kind of being fair given the kind of stuff that we like. We love to squirm in certain things. Had this been funnier and maybe not as offensive, we would have been the people who said, hey, nobody gets this. This is funny. Hey, but that even got to us. We're like, fuck this. But I know some people liking the movie. I'm not calling people perverts for liking the movie. I'm not boycotting the movie or anything like that. I'm not.
It's for very particular taste.
Yeah.
And if you don't fit in that particular taste, the movie's not for you.
And I'm not backing off on how I feel about this, but I even see the argument there of like they do try to make it a non-date rape scene by adding a joke to it. To me, that's not enough, but I see the attempt there. So, I mean, like I said, some people like this movie.
When I looked at that, I mean, the first few moments, you're like, oh, fuck, he's date raping her. But then it's like, why does he stop, motherfucker? It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. This girl is exactly that girl that goes out and gets drunk and fucks guys. And that's what she does is for fun.
Tell you what, somebody made a comment, and I agree with this. I'm tired of seeing Anna Faris play these dumb characters.
That's what she's really good at.
I know. That's why I'd like to see her do something else.
Apparently, I don't. From what I'm told, that's pretty much Anna Faris. Not that she's dumb, but that she is this sunshiny, adorable, not an intellectual, but just this adorable, fun party girl that's really sweet and really kind, and everybody loves her. And
so I heard the opposite. I heard like when was the bunny
House Bunny?
The House Bunny came out, they're like, yes, she's not a blonde like that, and she's not ditzy. She actually helped produce that movie, so there was they say she's actually kind of smart, So
yeah, no, but she's not a rocket scientist. She's not.
Shit, who is? I mean, it's like
there's actually a lot of incredibly smart people who are actors. People you look at and go, "Wow, he's pretty dumb." It's like, no, actually, he's fucking brilliant. My personal favorite is apparently James Woods is like a hardcore super genius. Like he like solves the problems of the world in his spare time while making movies.
Wow. Okay, so we have James Woods to help the economy out, not
Obama.
Now, I'm going to tell you something else I heard about James Woods, and this is
tell me something you heard about James Woods.
And people, I'm going to get made fun of for this. I might as well prepare
by the way,
for
just let me say, I love Anna Faris though, and I adore her. So.
I do too. I like her. I think she's as they say, a fine comedian. But I would like to see her tackle something different now before she gets too typecast as the dumb ditzy blonde chick. But James Woods, okay, people, get ready to make fun of me. I know I'm gay, I'm whatever. Yeah, but I heard James Woods has the biggest penis, or one of the biggest penises in Hollywood. Like, there's a rumor going around. Like, they compare different stars. Right after that, Liam Neeson.
That's
now,
the gayest shit
yeah, I know.
I've ever heard.
But I was told that by a girl.
Michael Bay. Michael Bay's got the biggest one.
Where'd you hear that from?
Lots of places. It's actually, that's the big thing in Hollywood.
I've tasted it.
Michael Bay's 14-inch penis, apparently. It's
That's a mutant dick, man. That ain't...
apparently, that's apparently what he's got. He's apparently got this big mutant dick.
Women can't even take that.
No, they can't. That's why he's got to date Playboy bunnies.
That's why
he's
got to
have
blow
two
up
at the same
shit because
time,
he's repressed.
so they can be together, so he can go through and have enough, woman to get all the way through.
Damn, we're gonna have a. You know what? They need to make a movie about
In
Michael
one
Bay.
hole out the other. I think that's his mind.
Like he's sticking it in, comes out of a mouth. And no, they should make a movie about Michael Bay's penis blowing up shit, just going through the city like Transformers, just blowing shit up.
I think it was called Transformers. I mean, I love Transformers, but
Michael Bay's dick versus James Woods' dick. They just destroy the city, fighting each other.
That's pretty fucking gay, dude.
I bet there's an audience for it.
Yeah, Corey Coleman.
I'll be there. That's damn right.
God damn, I've been waiting for this movie for years. I've always said it. James Woods' dick versus Michael Bay's dick. It's the greatest fight ever.
Who you
It'll
think
be awesome.
I got my man on James Woods.
In 3D.
And IMAX.
Coming soon.
Coming on 2 IMAX screens. So, I'll tell you what, man.
Tell me what.
I'm going to tell you what.
Tell me what.
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking for shit right now.
So you have nothing.
Man, I got nothing. I should be prepared. I really should. I got to give you a movie, man.
You got to give me a movie?
Yeah, Anvil.
Which one?
Anvil.
Oh, Anvil. Yeah, I've heard that it's really good. I just haven't seen it yet.
I've watched half of it, and it is really good. It's a story about these like 250-something-year-old guys, and
who have been trying to rock out since they were kids.
Yeah, and it's funny, man, because you see like all these gigs that they do where they're performing in front of thousands of people, and then they show these guys at their jobs are like packing boxes and shit, and it's like, how would that suck, man? To like actually have been like doing all kind of drugs and sleeping with all kind of women, performing in front of crowds, and then all of a sudden you're like packing boxes as a 9-to-5 job.
How is that any different than working at Spill?
Because we never perform in front of thousands of people live.
Not live, but here we are on the internet in front of thousands of people. And you and I, we score with tons and tons of beautiful 14-year-old girls.
Oh, all the time.
And then we have to go back to our 9-to-5 jobs.
And then we pack them in boxes and send them off.
That's right. In pieces, yes.
No, I didn't say all that. Now, see, that's where you went too far.
See, that's where I went too far.
Exactly. I just sent them to an island where they can never talk to anybody. It should did.
So Anvil, I hear, is
quite. No, it is good. It's I just wonder, man. I'd like to get your opinion on it because I like all kind of music, and some I can even tell you a little more about than the average person, but. Like the heavy
metal,
I like heavy metal. Look, I tell you what.
You've listened to what is it? There's a couple bands you've listened to. I'm sure you've listened to Fishbone and
Bad Brains
and
Fishbone, Bad Brains, and Tool are like.
Yeah, you're a Tool.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think. Living Color. Yeah.
I did. I saw Living Color live.
Dude, Living Color was pretty
badass.
badass.
No, I know. Like a
cult of personality.
It's scaring me. You should see the look on his face, people.
Dude, I love that
His
song.
arms just went up in the air and shit.
Living Color is badass. Fishbone's pretty badass, too.
Bad Brains, like I said, man. You ever listen to them?
No, I'm actually not a Bad Brains.
I love Bad Brains. But I saw Kiss live.
Dude, I had 1989. I had front row tickets.
Oh, shit.
Anthrax, Iron Maiden.
Oh, you really?
Really?
I see. I even look. See, now this goes to show you how much I listen to anything. I even remember some Iron Maiden songs. Do you remember that song? Run to the hills. Yeah. Run for your life.
No,
yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Apparently not. You're just psychic. You know what I'm going to say. No. But I don't know.
Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Fuck yeah.
Well, see, now you should listen to this.
That was the heavy metal song they let us play in English class, yo.
What? English class? What? They let you play that song in English class? Why?
Yeah.
Because it's Rime of the Ancient Mariner?
Because it's actually just a heavy metal version of Rime of the Ancient Mariner.
Okay, so obviously you are immersed in the heavy metal.
Well, I'm versed. I am not immersed.
Okay, well, I don't know enough about it to know whether or not this band didn't succeed because they just didn't catch a break, or maybe they actually do suck. And the guys that they're interviewing, they're just being nice because they were younger than these guys and they watched them when they were kids. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm listening to it. I'm just
It's kind of like people who grow up to be real film critics in the future. You know, they'll do a documentary on us, and I loved them. They were so great. They had this thing every week called A Couple of Cold Ones. I don't know why they never took off.
Yeah,
we fucking suck.
Packing
That's
fucking
why.
boxes somewhere, working a fish market. But yeah, no, I would like somebody else
Once
to watch
again
and tell
for
me.
a couple of cold boxes of fish with Dorian Cole. Carlisle. Would you
Today's fish.
shut up, Carlisle, and just pack the fucking truck?
No, trout, motherfucker. No, fish, salmon, you son of a bitch. I don't know what these guys are like.
I brought
you
my
should watch
class ring. Oh, shut up. Whippersnapper.
Well, anyway, the movie's pretty good from what I've seen. I've only seen half of it. And I'm going to pass it around for you guys to watch. But it's good so far. It's really good. I mean,
It's going to be your little Anna Faris disc.
I'm gonna give you the wrong disc. It's gonna be my friend Albert's porn CD, porn DVD.
The cigar smoking.
Still have the box right here.
Hand me this box. Is there any nudity on the box?
No,
There's no. Then what's the
no,
point?
she's
of the
got
box?
a covered. She got
She
stuff
has
covered
covered
all
up
around.
her. Is it only one girl smoking a cigar?
No, it's. I was telling co-host this. That video is the equivalent of giving cats catnip and watching them just writhe on the ground like they're fucking high. Because that's what they do. The women, they tell you how to do 4 things: cut a cigar, buy a cigar, store it, and of course smoke it. Now you thinking smoking is euphemism
Where's
for
the
something?
part?
but
Wait, where's the part where they show you how to diddle yourself with it?
we talked about that. That ain't there.
Isn't that the Monica Lewinsky section? Isn't that
See,
what that's
man,
for?
we've already mentioned all that.
I
Ain't there.
know.
Talked about
You can't talk about cigars in the hoo-ha without mentioning our president, our commander in chief.
Your former commander in chief. Yeah, no, they got a girl sitting up there naked, and she doesn't even like stick the cigar in her ass and light it up or anything. I mean, it's
It's Playboy. I mean, it's sophisticated
but
nudity.
they tell you and that's how you cut a cigar. And then she takes a puff, and it's like, oh, and then she starts rubbing herself, but not really in exotic ways. It's just like hands are just going over the contour of her body.
But what you have to understand, Corey, I know you haven't been with as many women as I have. But,
Of course not. No.
What you need to understand is that is a natural state for women. Women naturally, when they're naked, they just start touching themselves. If you put 2 in a room together, they hit each other with pillows.
See, I just thought they put some shit in their cigars and got them high and just filmed them.
No. I mean, literally, women, they innately, every single one of them has incredible lingerie. And they love hitting each other with pillows, rolling around, touching themselves constantly, pleasuring themselves repeatedly. If you leave them alone for 5 minutes in a room, they're going to diddle themselves.
Well, of course. What are you talking about?
What you have to understand is these are women, and that's just capturing them the way they are on film.
Oh, well, no wonder I was so bored by
It's a
this. This is what women do
documentary.
for me all the time. What are you talking about?
I mean, that's documentary filmmaking at its finest. Nude cigar smoking by Playboy.
I thought you were going to say, now, Corey, I know you haven't been with as many cigars as I have, but the truth of the matter
Well, no,
is...
we've both smoked about the same number of cigars. I've just fucked more chicks.
Oh, yes, of course.
I've had
You
3.
fucked more cigars. That's what it is. All right, so we're coming up at the point now we can do some email.
Let's do some email.
And I actually did this week.
Motherfucker.
I chose some email.
Why'd you stop, motherfucker?
Oh,
That's going to
keep
be like
going.
the catchphrase from here on. I just, whenever you stop talking, why'd you stop, motherfucker?
all right.
I'll just get angry emails from women.
I'm ready. I know. Yeah. Hey, that was him tonight,
The
y'all.
emails
Not
are
me.
coming in already. We haven't posted it. That's how incendiary this episode is. On a very offensive couple of cold ones.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We're in the shit now, motherfucker. We're in the shit now.
Yeah, I got it open now. There's some stuff up here that I have not read. I did look ahead.
So give us something.
Okay.
Bring it home.
I'm going to go to the one by...
The one that you read.
Yes, the one that I read earlier.
When you read ahead, you really read one.
No, I read about 4. I got a short attention
You
span.
go in depth.
Like exactly, like the new ones that I saw there, they just kind of caught my attention. I just got curious and got sidetracked. But I'm gonna read this one from Kara because now if I can go back to old sexist Corey, because Kara is fine as hell, man. And,
Is she or is it just her pick?
I'm hoping that this picture is her. Kara, don't fuck with me, all right? Is this picture you or not? All right, because I'm getting tired. Like that girl Kim that everybody was telling me about. Did you ever hear about this?
No.
Had a girl named Kimberly on the site, and it was a hot picture of a girl, and she was sending out friend requests to everybody. And when people would actually, now she wouldn't spam people, she would just ask for friends. She had over like 2,000 friends. Mm-hmm. And when people would try to give her a message or a greeting or something, she'd come back and say, "Oh, I have this site that we should network on and go to." And she was just promoting another Ning site or something. If it was a she, I'll just say it. So I kicked her off because it was just somebody doing promotion more than anything else. But everybody, that picture got to them. That's why she had so many friends.
Look, at any time a woman is wearing a bikini and laying over a Lamborghini, it's not really her.
Oh, well, shit, this ain't Kara then. No, Kara, no.
Let me see Kara.
No, this could be tangible here.
Show me Kara.
Yeah, I can't turn that far. Kara, there's a girl in a turtleneck. She looks like she could be real.
Oh, I know her. That's really a dude.
Oh,
that's Cyrus,
shit.
dude.
Oh,
It's not really Kara. It's Cyrus fucking with you.
Man, Cyrus gets so much shit from everybody. Co-host talks about him every week. Just like you are. Just fucking with him. Just making fun of him. But I don't know why he's so easy. But anyway, Kara says this. She says, "I will hunt you down if you do not answer this question. Maybe that's what I want. And you aren't that far away, and I will find you." Hey, don't think I haven't thought about that. I ain't gonna say where she is, but she's. I'll drive to get to her.
San Antonio?
I will drive to get to her. It ain't that far. It's just, you talking about, I'll come get you, Carrie. You keep fucking with me. So, what are some movie character cliches, stereotypes that you really hate? And she gives some examples. I won't go over all of them. The angry, bitter, old recluse, nerds who are always geniuses, the person who preaches about stereotypes only to be one in the end, the man on a mission, the scorned woman seeking vengeance, blah, blah, blah. And do you think it is still possible to come up with new and interesting characters in movies today?
Well, the stereotype I hate the most is the pretty girl in a turtleneck. I think that's a really fucking overrated cliche. I think I'm fucking sick to death of it. It's just, please, does she have to keep, God, the turtleneck. Oh my God. So I'm sorry, I just broke Corey. No, actually, there are some stereotypes that get me, but the thing is a lot of stereotypes are done as shorthand. Yes, you can create new and original characters. As far as you can create something, we've had a lot of film and we've covered a large spectrum of the human experience on film, if not all of it at some point. So, but you can get new feeling characters. You can make authentic characters. But, there's cliches that just sometimes... I don't know. Cliches don't get to me that badly.
If they work, I mean, there's some that they use over and over again. My character is not even a human being. Mine is the dog character. Every time you bring up a dog character in a movie, there's 3 things that dog is guaranteed to do. That dog is guaranteed to piss on something. That dog is guaranteed to hump something, and that dog is guaranteed to probably even fart. So,
I'm getting sick of the man-child. The man-child cliche of, the whole Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler. Mm-hmm. I'm yelling and acting like a 12-year-old. It's like, really? I've seen that guy maybe once or twice in my life.
And you didn't like him.
And I did not like him.
That was funny because we answered a similar question like that last week or 2 weeks ago. And that was my answer. The exact same thing.
My favorite cliche, though, the one that I love because it's so bad, but I love it, is the headset guy. The guy who's doing the call trace, like you've got the cops, everybody knows what I'm talking about now. Because the cops, they've got the bad guy on the line, and they look over, and there's a guy sitting at the computer, and he's like tapping, or back in the old day, he was sitting with a pair of headphones, and then the villain hangs up, and the hero looks over to him, and they just get that slow head shake.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Oh, you know
and
what?
It's like, no, we didn't get it. It's like, damn it. That's my favorite bad cliche because it's just silly at this point. When you go to the guy who's doing the trace.
Well, my all-time, I was leading up to my all-time worst, and I'm really, really am sick of this, is the loud, fat black woman. In every movie, you got to have, like when they want to, you go to a crowd and they're asking somebody questions.
Not the loud, the sassy.
The loud, sassy black woman.
Sassy black woman.
Yeah, she's the biggest one out there.
The sassy black bus driver.
She's like in
Enchanted.
Enchanted, yeah. But that woman's everywhere. She's Monique in a lot of movies. Monique is filling that role. And so you get to a crowd of people and you're asking questions, and she's like, he should have listened to his mama. And she's got, big woman with breast flinging everywhere. And it's just like, I really am getting sick of that. I mean, that's just an overused thing right there. But yeah, that's me. So anyway, you want to go to another question here?
Sure, go to another question. Find someone with a turtleneck, because we haven't heard that before.
You know what? That is one cliche I would love to show up in my house. I started not to answer that question, Kara, so you could come and find me. Like you say, it ain't that far away. I'll be here with the bell is on. This is from Ryan Quarterman.
Quarterman! Yeah. My man Ryan. My man Ryan has learned punctuation.
What?
And he has learned capitalization. I'm very proud of him. He's working at it.
Yeah, he is. Now, Ryan... Ryan, look, and you tell me if this is true. Like, don't fuck with me, Ryan, all right? Ryan told me that... he said, I have some learning disability that makes me type in all caps. And I bought it. I was like, oh, well, shit, I'm not going to give you a hard time. And then Cyrus told me, he's like, oh, he's full of shit. He's just messing with you.
You bought that? That there's a learning disability that forces him to type in all caps?
I don't know him. I don't have any reason not to believe him.
I have a learning disability that makes me kick people in the balls repeatedly. So I'm really sorry what's going to happen here in a few moments.
See, I thought like maybe he couldn't see things unless they were all capped. I don't know how, man, I've heard of so many learning disabilities.
Oh, God, he just hosed you, dude. Shit, you totally got snowed.
Oh, well, hey, look, it's not like I put any money into this. I didn't know the guy. I didn't meet.
He's 13. He was 13 when he did that shit.
Yeah, and he's like
15 now.
He says, any good colleges that would be good for becoming a better... No, there isn't. No. He's saying, are there any good colleges that would be better for becoming a better movie critic? Shit, I don't know, man. I would say it's not... You can't go to a college where they teach you how to be a better movie critic. Go to a college where they teach you good writing.
Well, right. Well, the question is, do you want to focus in writing or film? I've seen critics who have gone both ways, and generally, I honestly prefer critics who follow the path of going. Find a good film school, not necessarily University of Texas moved away from film production and more towards film history and art appreciation. That's the type of thing you'll want to go to because you really need the history and you need the background and you need to learn. You just need to see a lot of movies, and that's what that kind of an education will do. Yeah, and that'll also include writing. The people that I know that got English degrees rather than film degrees are more focused on their writing and how their review comes across and how it's formulated and how it's composed more than they are the actual nature of the review. And reviews are disposable. This isn't there's only 2 or 3 film critics in history whose books of their reviews are published and readily bought. So when it comes down to what you're looking at doing, you're really going to want to move away from the English track and more towards the film history track.
Well, I was in when I went to UT, that was actually going to be my track. It was like they had RTF, radio, television, and film, and
which is a film production track. That's a production.
Well,
track,
no, actually, RTF was actually split. I mean, film itself was split into 2 things. Mm-hmm. It was critical studies and film production.
Yeah.
So critical studies is the track where you take a lot of television and film history, mm-hmm. and that's where you get your whole background and immersiveness and learning about everything that you probably would need to know about. I mean, you'd be surprised, Ryan. I want to tell you, man. You watch movies and you think you know everything, but when you go to these classes and they make you watch shit that you never would have watched, like they're going to expose you to avant-garde stuff. They're going to expose you to old films that you thought you never want to see, and you watch them anyway. And it puts a light on what you see today, and a whole new light on it that you never saw before. The only reason why I say take writing courses is because I'm telling you, man, if you can't fucking write, you can know all about the history of film and whatever. You're going to be a guy who spouts off useless knowledge.
Well, yeah, but me and Ryan have talked several times about the fact that the first focus he needs to do right now is, like, if you're in high school, get in the best English class you can. I mean, seriously, you need to take higher level English. You need to get up to where you're writing honors English, because that's where they really get you to write critical essays on things.
Yeah.
Where they're going to hand you a copy of Dante's Inferno and ask you to write a critical essay on it. That's where, this is where you need to be headed.
But whatever you do, Ryan, make sure you go to a college where they cater to the all caps impaired. Okay,
He's not all caps anymore. He's getting his shit together.
He's on medication now for all caps.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, he's on that punctuation pill.
Yeah, actually, he just got the caps lock repaired on his computer. So, no, I mean, hey, man, it's a combination of everything. When you go to college, you'll have a sense for what you need to know. All I can tell you is I've known people, and you know people like this too. People, they can tell you anything about movies, but can they get a job writing for any newspaper anywhere? Probably not.
Well, and that's the one thing, I guess, the depressing thing we could say is, going to college for film review in this day and age, I don't know if that's going to get you a gig anywhere. I would also train in a backup, something else you really like. Because first of all, there's not a lot of money in this. So the idea of sinking 40, 50, 60 grand into a school to get a job that's not going to pay very well at all.
Well, yeah, that's exactly why I say emphasis on taking a good literary course, because I used to work for an editor at our newspaper here in town, the Austin American Statesman. That guy has floated around from department to department. Well, at least two that I know of. He used to work in entertainment, and then he moved to the Food Critic. And I mean, it's an easy adjustment, because if you can write, you can probably write about anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, damn computer cut off, man. I didn't even know. So we're gonna wrap this up real quick. And
wrap it up, motherfucker.
We reached that hour mark. So
why'd you stop, motherfucker?
I knew you gonna do that. That's why I was trying to speed through that shit. God damn it!
You can't stop me. You can't. I am a force.
I'm a force to be reckoned with. Nature. So yeah, whatever. Go to college.
I'm the Brown Hornet.
Damn, you remember that?
Yeah,
Brown Hornet.
The Brown Hornet, motherfucker. I love the Cos. Every time I mention a Cos bit, you're like, man, you like Cosby?
I got something.
The schism, you see, the schism, see.
I love it when Cosby comes up, because people just get retarded. Like the moment you mention Cosby, it's like.
and if they can't remember a good Cosby bit off,
what, Jello?
The side they go, and the Jello pudding pops.
And like Leon said, that man,
Coca-Cola.
he ain't had a Jello pudding pop in years, and he can't get away from it.
Because we all grew up on that shit.
Oh, no.
Because when the Cos said this is good shit, we believed it, even though it tasted like fucking cardboard.
Man,
it tasted like ice.
What, pudding pops?
Yeah, pudding pops tasted like fucking ice.
Man, I was addicted to that shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, except you were addicted to ice.
And I was addicted to ice.
It tasted like fucking ice. That's it.
I ate that shit. I couldn't wait till summer to come around, because that's when my mom bought like popsicle stuff, like frozen treats. And that's when it was summertime.
You had to get them, if you got them like gooier, if you let them thaw a little, then they were good.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, there were a couple of summers where you knew it was summer when you opened up that freezer and you saw Cosby looking at you with that pudding pop. He had
that face on. Like,
summer's here. Fuck Mother Nature. Cosby's here.
I remember one of my friends in high school, her big trick was she could clean a pudding pop off of the stick in one lick.
What?
She was popular.
I was about to say, yeah. What bridge is she working under now? What bunny ranch is she at?
She's, I believe the phrase is happily married at this point.
Her husband at least is.
Amen.
Yeah, he's like, hey, babe, what flavor pudding pop you want tonight? Damn.
Wow. Man. That's it. So, girls, if you can clean pudding
Don't listen to this shit, girl. This nasty motherfucker over here. You've been the nastiest thing through this whole show, man.
Nasty. Baby, you so nasty.
Carla, you just nasty.
You nasty, baby.
Let me ask you something, though, before we get out of here.
Now we're doing Eddie Murphy. What the fuck?
Just schizo tonight.
Let's go through the great black comedy albums of the 70s and 80s. We need some Richard Pryor.
Unfortunately, no one can ever do Richard Pryor. All I can do is...
His bits weren't that memorable. He was funny. His bits weren't classic.
No, I mean, are you kidding? His bits were classic. I mean, everybody remembers.
Do a bit.
Come here, let me tell you something now, boy. You know, he did that homeless guy. And the monkey bit. Like, do you remember Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip? Where he was talking about, he said, man, the monkey thing. He's like, yeah, I had these monkeys, because that's what you do when you get rich. You get these monkeys, you see. And there was a girl and a boy, and they used to just fuck each other all the time. And you know, people come to my house and they just fuck anything. My agent be there, and they get on his head, and he'd be like, Rich, your monkey's fucking my ear. Could you get it off of me, please? And he said, yeah, but one day, my monkeys, man, this is what got me. This was weird. He's like, my monkeys, they found, they cut on the stove and, they didn't have any matches and they died. He was like, I think they would have died had they had matches a lot quicker. But he's like, so he said, this is the classic part of the joke. He said, yeah, so, I'm walking around and every day I used to walk outside and this dog used to be next door and dog used to just fuck with me, mean motherfucker. Just used to come to the door, at the gate. Y'all always see me. And then one day I was walking out, he came up and he started barking. He's like, Rich, what's wrong, man? You look down. And he's like, I don't know, man. My monkeys died and I'm just kind of feeling sad today. And he's like, Rich, man, you can't let that shit get to you now. You got to fight that. You understand? He's like, yeah, you're right, man. You're right. It was good talking to you. He's like, all right then. Now, tomorrow I'm going to be chasing your ass again. Right? And it's like, and the crowd just goes crazy, man. They love it. And even when he talked about his monkeys dying, the crowd was like, aw. So, classic Richard Pryor bit, man. I'm surprised you never heard that.
No schism.
Nah, I remember him on Johnny Carson. He was like, yeah, we used to have this thing called the cool run, because, girls see you, like, guy want to fight you, or the cops are coming after you, and they see you running. You do the cool run, and girls be like, why is Rich running? Look, Rich running from a fight. Yeah, but he's cool, though. And the crowd just goes crazy, man. Richard Pryor was a genius,
Richard
man.
Pryor was funny, but I think Richard Pryor's stuff was more in the delivery. I love Richard Pryor.
Oh, no, I'm giving you an idea what it's like. I can't do his delivery at all. I'm not Richard Pryor. But to do an imitation, that's why I love Eddie Murphy.
Do a good Richard Pryor.
No, Eddie Murphy did Richard Pryor. The only time I saw the funniest one I saw the weirdest thing about Richard Pryor on In Living Color. Tell me if you saw this.
Probably not.
Damon Wayans. It was called Richard Pryor, Scared for No Reason. And you did see Richard Pryor do a lot of scary mannerisms. Like, he never talked. Damon Wayans comes in. He's like, he cuts on like, mess with me, motherfucker. He pours cereal like, and people find the clip if you can, because it's the weirdest thing. I'm not even trying to be funny. He pours a bowl of cereal. He looks at the screen. He's like, there's no pop in my right. And he gets up and runs out the room. And it's like, what the fuck did I just see?
$240 worth of pudding. Pops. Oh, yeah.
Oh, well,
all right, I think we've gone on a little too long.
We're
like, yeah. All right.
We're getting
Good night, everybody.